time of day it is and why aren't there it is. Now we're showing. I couldn't see where we're going. Well, because it didn't pop up yet. It was delaying on.
Mine either.
So, like, are we even on yet?
That's what I was trying to figure out. Why isn't it doing it what it's supposed to do? What is going on?
There we are. Now we're on. I gotta go back to my default view. There we go. Default view. Now I can see things. Hello. It is Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, April 23rd.
Yes. Now, here's the funny thing. Well, actually, a lot of funny things happen. I know Des has a couple of stories. I did not even realize we were having a show. She sends me the link, and I'm like, oh, that's right. We're doing a show today. Which it was a good thing that I was like awake and conscious and looking at my phone, because I had no idea that we were doing a show when this was something, because my mind is already in vacation mode. I already took my plane, which my plane is going to be between Wednesday and Thursday. Like, I'm leaving my plane comes at 5 a.m. in the morning. So I got to leave I got to leave at like 1 a.m. in order to get to the airport, because it's going to take me like 3 hours to get to the airport. So
too early. But half the time, that's around the time I'm able to finally fall asleep. Like, I can fall asleep early, and then I get up, I use the bathroom, and then even with all my medication, and then I go use the bathroom, I get back, come back upstairs, go to lay down, and I just can't close my eyes. It really sucks.
Hello, Finding Your Balance. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
I'm worried about, because I'm not going to take any medicine that night. I am not going to take anything. I'm not going to eat too heavy, like a light meal and stuff like that, because that's the worst thing I could imagine, is if I get to the airport and all I have to do is like pee on the plane, and it's a 4-hour plane ride, and I'm like, no, I don't want to go to the bathroom on the plane.
I'm trying to think. When I went from Wisconsin here to Florida, I'm trying to remember how long that plane flight was. I think it was only like 2.5 hours. But that's like down. You're like going across the United States. So
yeah, it's like across up north. Yeah. But this is where I guess intuition got the best of me, because one of the things that was happening is my front left tire on the driver's side kept losing air. Like a couple of times this week, I had to fill it up with air. So I said, you know something? Let me get the tire change. It's under warranty. Well, it should be under warranty. So I go to the tire place, and the first thing they do is check it. It's not covered under warranty because the tread is so bad on that front tire. Not only is that front tire bad, they looked at the one that kept going flat. They looked at the one on the other side, and he showed me. He's like, how did you drive to this location? I'm like, what are you talking about? The rim, like the outer rim of the tire, had all the mesh spikes
the metal
jutting out.
Yeah.
He says, this tire is about to explode. That's what he told me. So I had to get the 2 new tires this morning. And they weren't covered. So I was like so upset. I'm like, but there's my mommy. Hi, mommy. Yes, she can't wait. I'm coming down to New York, and I'm going up to New York.
Yeah, it's going up.
I'm going up,
not down. When your mom comes to visit you, she's going down.
Yeah, she's going down when she visits me. I'm going up now.
She's going up north. She's gonna come down south. Well, west. Go west. So, hello, by the way, Miss Valerie. I hope you are doing good. Much love.
So that was my little excitement from this morning, was getting my tires changed. And I'm like, why is something so simple like that cause so much anxiety? I'm like,
you want to? Yeah, I can relate to tires. They give me anxiety. I won't even put air in them. I can't change them. I have Tommy do all that. Absolutely have Tommy do all that, because I am terrified. And if I have to put air in my tires, I ask one of the gas station attendants if they can help me, because I am so scared of putting air in my tire. So scared to go poof.
I learned the painful way being in New York of having to change my tire because I swear that they purposely throw nails on the ground in order for you to have to get your tires changed to make more money. That's it sounds like a crazy, but I went through, no joke, 19 tire changes in 1 year. 19 of them.
I had that in Milwaukee, but mine was somebody was slashing my tires.
Oh
But
no,
all the
this
tires on our street were getting slashed.
it was because constantly nails in the tire. The road conditions are so bad, the potholes and stuff like that.
That's
So
crazy.
I had to go through so many tire changes. But the great thing about it was I used the Walmart's warranty plan. I didn't have to pay for any of them. They're all
That's good. That's really good.
They thought I was crazy, but remember the garage sale? Oh,
Uh-oh. Miss Valerie, I hope that you heal very, very fast and there's no more pain.
I think she wants you to tell a story. Can I tell a quick story?
Go right ahead.
Okay, we were coming home late at night. We just got off the ferry. We were taking the Connecticut ferry because we were going up to the casino in Connecticut, and they have a nighttime ferry that you could take across with the car. So the car is on the ferry. I get off the ferry, and it's late at night. And don't ask me how I did this. I turned to make a left, and I hit the sidewalk. I crashed into the sidewalk. I didn't see the sidewalk. Don't ask me. I just didn't see it. So it ended up popping my tire out. But I had all my stuff in because I was a reseller, and I kept all my stuff in the trunk. But in order to get to the tire, I had to empty out the trunk. So now I open up the trunk and I'm start unloading box after box after box of garage sale stuff onto the street, stacking it up in order to get to the tire that's underneath it. And a police officer comes, and the first thing the police officer says is, "What are you doing? Having a midnight garage sale?"
Oh, Lordy, Lordy. No, sir, do you not see that I messed up my tire?
But then that was another thing because he could have got me for like drunk. Well, I wasn't drunk or anything like that. How the hell? I don't even understand how I did this. I crashed into the street making a left turn. Think about that. That's bad. Yes, making a left turn, I overshot and hit the curb on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. Not the right-hand side.
Oh.
On the left-hand side. I hit the curb.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's crazy.
Can I just say it was late and I wasn't familiar with the area and I didn't realize that on the left side, not the right side. It would make sense if it was the right side, but on the left side.
That's funny. All right. So I want to do real quick our quotes.
Yes, because we forgot that the last time.
No, we had one. We just didn't.
We did it at the end of the show. So yeah, started off at the beginning. So this way we have.
All right. It is a Dolly Parton quote. Says, "The way I see it, if you want a rainbow, you gotta put up with a little rain." Mm-hmm. I thought that was cute. Plus, it's raining. You know, it's raining out, and maybe not so much now, but we've gotten a lot of rain. So I figured that would be a good quote for this week.
And the beautiful rainbow, and yes, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You do need a little rain. You need sunshine too in order to make it. Yes. So you need a little light in the rain, and it makes a beautiful rainbow.
There's always a calm before the storm hits, or there's always a calm after the storm. That's what I meant to say. Sometimes it comes out wrong. Sometimes I twist it up, but I eventually get it right. So we really don't have a topic for tonight, like, every Tuesday. So if there's anything in chat that you guys would like to talk about, let us know. Otherwise, we're just going to keep chit-chatting until, somebody decides that or needs to talk about something. So how are you guys liking the title, Finding Your Peace, Mental Health Sanctuary? Oh, I forgot the music. See, I am so bad today. Let me
Well,
find
that's
some music.
you got the lights going, so
I got the lights going, although
and
I
it's
do
funny
have.
because it's almost like with the changing lights, the lights are breathing. I like that.
Yep, and that's actually the setting that I have it on is called breathing.
Oh, it's called breathing. That's what I mean.
Mhm.
I see. I didn't do anything with. I got to do something with my lights, but I got my little ball that I got to plug in. But I officially packed up everything, so I don't have my little hub because I have my little hub where I could put the USB stuff in, and but it's packed up for the trip.
I don't know which one I like.
Love the title. What that was the topic. Finding your peace is one of my favorite topics. So see, that's what finding your balance wants to find the peace.
Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna probably try a couple different titles for the mental health safe place. So far, I'm really liking this one, Finding Your Peace. Because you need to talk about things. You need to don't bottle them up, or put them in a box on a shelf, like Miss
Oh
Melanie.
no! I box things. Nope. I okay. For those of you who don't know, I have this thing. If there's a problem, I get a mental box. I put it in the box, close the box, and it goes on a shelf in my head or in my. It goes on, and it will stay there until I pull out the box and open it up. So, however, sometimes that is a problem. Is if I keep putting it up there, taking it out, putting it up there, and taking it out. And I'm having that problem right now with a specific issue that I keep putting on the shelf and then taking off. So I don't want to deal with that.
Yep. And the thing is, everybody has a different way that they handle, like bottling it up or, just kind of pushing it aside. Some people I've heard of, well, I put them in filing cabinets, it's a mental thing that people, for them is how they want to put it. Mine, I tend to either bottle it up until the bottle breaks, or I just put it behind a closed door, and sometimes that door kind of breaks open and, well, not usually good. So that's one thing that I do personally. What do you guys do when, you're dealing with stuff? Do you face it head on, or do you put it in a box on a shelf like Miss Melanie, or do you put it in a bottle or put it behind a closed door, put it in a filing cabinet? I know, like I said, everybody's different, but
I want to grab the bottle and make it like what do they call it, cocktail, and light it up and throw it out and make it explode, burn something. No.
It's called Diet Coke and Mentos.
Like you start it on fire and make it explode. Or something that's perfect, the Diet Coke Mentos thing.
I did that once and I got so excited. First time I was ever able to do it, and not have to deal with anybody telling me, no, you can't do that. It was so fun. I did it with my kids, actually.
Try doing that while you're drinking. Trying to find a different way, but that's how it usually goes. A different way of boxing things up or bottling or...
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss something in between. Yeah, it is hard work, and it's really hard to try to, empty out the bottle slowly or take it out of, off the shelf in the box, open it up and dealing with it. I mean, it's really hard to deal with, but I mean, it can be done. However, it's a struggle. It really is a struggle. And welcome to, we have 7 people here. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you are having a wonderful, beautiful, amazing day. And hopefully your weather is cooperating with you. Ours was but then it started storm. It rained. It rained.
It's supposed to storm. We're gonna have storms I got to check the weather on Thursday. I'm worried about my flight because it's supposed to be storming.
Is it?
Yeah.
When I went to Florida for my Nana, as soon as like we took off into the air and a blizzard hit.
Oh no. That actually
Yeah.
happened to us. We came back from Florida. We were dressed in shorts because it was so hot in Florida. And then when we came and arrived in New York, there was a blizzard. And we had to wait for the luggage, so we couldn't change our clothes. So we were in shorts.
I was because it had been a minute since I had been to Florida, and I was going to see my Nana, so I wasn't even thinking straight, and I left in a big old hoodie, jeans. I was warm. Tommy took my winter coat so that when he came to pick me up when I came back, I had it. But I got off the plane in Miami, and my brother came and picked me up. My brother Ryan came and picked me up. As soon as I walked out of the airport, I felt like I hit a brick wall. It was so humid, and it was in November. And I had forgotten how horrible the weather was.
Mhm.
So here I am, bright cherry red. My brother goes, "Get in the car." And I'm like, okay, he's got the AC on and stuff like that, and he's got it like pointing at me because I am so red and overheated. We get to where my Nana was at hospice, and my cousin Shelly was like, "Do you have any summer clothes with you?" I'm like, "No, I live in Wisconsin. I forgot." So she ran home, which wasn't that far away, and got me some dry fit clothes.
Aw.
Yeah, so I could change because I was so red.
Aw.
So you are going from warm
To cold.
to the cold. So I mean,
I didn't even think about that.
It's
How cold is it up there? I didn't think about that. I have to set up long sleeves and stuff.
I mean, because I don't know about where your mom is, but here it still gets chilly. Like it's nicer during the day, about 60s, between 50 and 60, but at night it drops down to like 30, 40.
Yeah, that's too cold.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna
and
be
with you
cold.
being used to being in Texas and the
I'm
weather
gonna be cold.
there, it's going to be a big change when you go up there.
I can't believe I'm going. It's been like 12 years since I've been to New York. I can't believe it. I'm going. Oh my God. Nice day today, but wear a coat. Okay, I have a coat. I don't have a winter coat, but I have a regular like hoodie coat that I can wear. So.
Yeah, definitely, because, and I know your mom's more north than I am. And
Is she?
I think she is.
No, I think you guys are leveled. I'm pretty sure.
Let's see. Images.
You're looking at Long Island. So she's a little fishy island that's sticking out of New York. It looks like a fish. That's what I say.
Okay, so there. No, actually, she is. If you look compared to our map, depending on where she is, she's actually south from us. If you go directly across, she's actually a little bit more down.
Okay. Yeah, because I figured it like in line.
Yeah.
I was watching like how they do like interviews on the street to see how stupid people are, and it was one of those things as a test where without putting the state's names or the things, they just had a dot and they wanted you to like name the state that dot is in, and I realized I can't do that. Like if it had the state outlined like this, I would be able to do that. But just having a dot like on the map and determine what state is it, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I probably couldn't do it, and I was pretty good at that. We even had a song. Okay, so your mom's like right about here.
Yeah, that little fishy right there. That's Long Island.
If you go across,
Yeah.
This is Wisconsin. We're
yeah,
like right here.
Okay, so she's south of you. Yeah.
Yeah, she would be southeast of us.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, make sure you pack some warm clothes. And of
I
course,
gotta
I open up a tab, and then my computer goes, ooh.
I already packed up everything's packed up. Just last minute things needs to get thrown in the suitcase, and I'm ready to go. I'm so scared. I'm afraid of going on the flight.
You got this.
I know. I bought myself Twizzlers, and I bought myself a little crunchy stress ball that has all these little like noodles coming out of it. I'll be on the plane playing with it.
You're playing with some noodles, huh?
It's this weird squishy stress ball that has all these like appendages coming out of it, and it's like a squishy ball. And I'm like, okay, I bought that. Yes. Finding a Balance says I'm always packed and ready to go.
I'm still trying to get over the little dude with this. What you call? All I can see in my head is an octopus.
Do I have to go get it to show you guys?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
because I want to see what you're talking about.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna just. Okay.
That's funny. Funny. So what is everybody's plans this week? I'm hoping they're good. We're going to read our positive quote for the week. The way I see it, if you want a rainbow, you got to put up with a little rain. So.
Okay. So this is my little stress ball. You ready?
Yes. Oh, that is cute.
I saw this. I was at the store picking up a couple of things, and this was in like the impulse section. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, that's it. I got to get that for the plane. So, and it has a little. So it's like a little, and it could be like a yo-yo too.
I like that.
So
cool.
So I'm like, when I saw this, and they had different colors too, so I got the pink one, and I figured this will be perfect for. And it can be like a yo-yo because it has a little.
That is honestly cool. I'm not even gonna lie. I think that thing is cute.
Yeah, I think this is perfect for the plane, and I could just imagine myself all day long going doink 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 doink. Oh, she said, "Don't get thrown off the plane."
Yeah, don't get out. Yeah.
Why do you think they'll take this away from me for just squeezing it and just holding it?
I don't think so. As long as it ain't got nothing that can get you in trouble. Don't catch a charge, girl. Don't catch a charge.
I just think that's adorable. I should get a whole bunch of these. I just think they're cool. And it feels so it's my little fidget spinner or something.
That's
my
cool.
daughter has one of those hanging on her wheelchair. Oh, does she? They're cool. I like these.
He says part of that is my daughter, though. I have to be ready to drop everything and head to the hospital at any time.
That makes sense. Then, yeah.
Oh, I was like, that's not the comment I see. I have to scroll down. Yeah, that thing is cool. That is really cool.
Okay.
He loves it.
I will admit, when the fidget spinners first came out, the little things that spin, I never understood them. And I'm like, what the hell are people interested? But then with me, I guess I like the squeezy things as opposed to the spinny things. So I guess I could understand why people like to fidget things in their fingers. Because the worst thing for me are the pen clickers. I hate that. When people do the click, 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 click. I hate when people do that. That drives me crazy.
I'm sorry.
You're one of those pen clicker people?
Not all the time. It just when my anxiety is pretty high. But and then when my ADHD, like I'm trying to think, I click pens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that I do it on purpose. I think I just like the sound. I gotta put these on because the screen is really messing with my eyeballs. It's those blue light. Glasses.
Yeah.
The Pioneer Woman.
I use the fidget spinners all the
even
time.
My highlighter is a
That
clip.
click. If you were next to me and you click that the entire time, that would drive me crazy. Or you know what also drives me crazy? When people use a nail clipper on their nails. I hate that sound.
Yeah, nail clippers I don't like. So I got it in blue, and I think this is orange. And then I have it in yellow. So my highlighters have clickies.
Okay, so I do have a question for you. If you were in a crowded area and you're going click, 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 and somebody came up to you and said, could you please stop that clicking? How would you feel, or what would you do?
I'd apologize, like, I'm sorry, but my anxiety is really high.
And see, here's the thing. I could say my anxiety is high because of fucking clicking sound. They click, 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 click.
No, I don't do it all the time. Like, if
no, it's just
sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it. It's just something like, for example, our son Joey, he always had to have stuff in his hand, and my daughter, she cracks her knuckles, and that drives us nuts. That's like really bad. So we're trying to break her of it, but not that, you know, anxiety or anything. She just fidgets and cracks her knuckles, and my son too, he does this. So
that's a sensory thing as well.
Yep, he's got the sensory, but you know, he's got Tourette's, and so, you know, it affects his hands, it affects his, you know, eyes. He blinks a lot. Where for a minute there, Jaslyn scared me because she was picking up on his noises and some of the things that he does. And I was like, do both of my kids have Tourette's? No, she was just picking it up because she thought her brother was cool with making those noises or doing certain things, so she would try to mimic them. And it freaked me out for a minute, and then we realized what she was doing. So I was like, no, that's something that you know, Joey does. And so I don't know if it was more of her trying to, you know, think he was cool doing it, or if it was something just to kind of like ease him so that he wasn't the only one doing it. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I know that she thought it was cool, so she did mimic, but not exactly sure how the rest of that went. Chewing gum, can't stand it when they smack it.
Yes, I can't stand that either. That smacking sound.
It's like a Valley Girl.
Yeah,
they do that, and that drives me nuts. I know Tommy too. It drives him nuts. Sorry, we had really bad wind yesterday. I'm still feeling like I got something on my eyeball.
Which this brings in a very, very interesting question, and I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but what happens when you're in an area and somebody else's trigger is triggering you, but they're trying to do it to calm themselves down? You're trying to do something to calm down, and the two of you are aggravating each other. Okay,
so I saw a sign. Finding Your Balance even said, me neither. Don't like chewing gum. And it's, you know, people can chew gum. It's not a big deal. It's when they smack it, or they're blowing bubbles intentionally to smack it.
Pop them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, dude, really, the gum stays in your mouth. It's one thing when you're like a kid and, you know, you get to find out what gum is and blah, blah, blah. And you're like blowing bubbles to see who can get the biggest bubble. That's different than a grown ass adult smacking their gum because they think it's cute. No, that drives me up on the wall. However, I did see a quote, and I don't know if I'll get it correct 100%. I can't think of what it is now. I just lost it. My brain just said, nope, we ain't doing this today. But it has to do with like triggers and stuff like that. You know, I try not to do it in public. If somebody says, hey, you know, that's really annoying, you know, I try to, you be respectful. But I would let them know that, it's kind of helping me with dealing with all these people. So, I will try not to do it. But Joey, he used to do this too. Tap, have stuff in his hand, and he would tap.
That would drive me crazy too. Somebody's tapping a
I
pen.
got to a point where I forgot, I couldn't hear that he was doing it. So,
Or somebody who's sitting down and they're taking their knee and going up, 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 like up and down and tapping.
shaking their leg.
Yes.
I will be down here. I shit you not. I will be down. Tommy does that. Shakes his leg. Like it gets loud. Like his leg starts going really
Well, that's what I'm saying. When they start like tap, 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 tap.
I'll be down here and I will message him and I'll be like, hey honey, are you shaking your leg? All of a sudden it stops. He's like, sorry. Oh, I just like, oh well, I knew you were. I could hear, and it sounds funny through the floor. And I've been live when he's done that, so I don't know if other people can hear him do that, but it gets really loud. It sounds like he's gonna come through the floor. Well, that's just something that Tommy does. He shakes his, he just it bounces, not shakes. He bounces his leg.
Yeah.
And so, like if I'm upstairs, or when he's come, because he's going to be moving down here, I'm going to be moving upstairs, so I won't hear it anymore. I just hope that I don't start doing it upstairs. But I can barely touch the floor in the chair, so I have to have the chair high up so I can see everything. So and my feet don't touch the flour. So
you don't have that tap, 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 tap.
Yeah, so I sit Indian style in my chairs. I have always done it, cross-legged, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it for what I grew up with. So, and people are like, how do you do that? Like, we'll go to a restaurant and I got to sit on one side by myself because I have to sit like that. It's the only way that I'm comfortable. I try to sit with both of my legs. Like, there's been times where Jasmine sat by me and I toughed through it, sitting normal. But let me tell you, it is very uncomfortable for me to sit with just my legs normal. So that's kind of a quirky thing about me. Like, if you meet me in person and I sit down, a lot of times I am sitting with my legs crossed.
I wish I could do. I can't do that. I can't sit Indian style.
See, and it's always been comfortable for me, and so it might have to do with the way that my pelvis is and my lower vertebrae, but it's the only way that's comfortable for me. However, I because of my feet and everything, and I look at my phone a lot. Tommy's been helping me at night with relaxing, laying flat and bringing my legs up to stretch, because when I walk I got a little bit of a hunch because it hurts, and I have a stomach, I have a belly, and that doesn't help my feet in the bit, like at least. Now I can't think of the word that I was looking for. Doesn't help me in the least, and so my feet get really sore, and you can always tell when I'm sore, like my feet hurt real bad, is because I'm hunched over and I'm walking because I'm trying to get more weight on the front, and I walk like a tripod. That's how the doctor described it. It's like a tripod with the way that my feet line up, because my bones are that of a child, like a small child. My bones didn't grow in my feet the way they should have. So which I'm going to have another foot surgery to correct the other side. One side that I didn't have to have surgery on, I'm going to have it done. And hopefully I can lose some weight beforehand, so that they don't have to keep going in and correcting. But otherwise, there's not much they can do. I've had all the foot surgeries that I can with the areas that they've fixed. But now there's one spot that they can do the fix. I just don't know if I want to do it. But it's fine.
I was gonna say it's not easy having surgery. I mean,
no,
they want to do surgery on me, but as of right now, they can't do surgery unless I make the conscious decision and lose weight. And I'm not there. And I told him that. I said to the doctor, I'm like, mentally, I am not there.
Yeah.
But it's like I have nerve issues, and that's what's affecting my hand. That's why I get the shakes. That's why I get weakness in the hand. And sometimes it gets really bad. Other times it's fine. So
Yeah.
it's something I have to live with, but it is going to get progressively worse.
So do you know if weather plays a factor in that?
It does. Weather is one of the things that does. When there's a lot of pressure in the air, if I know that there's a storm coming, like I feel it tonight, and I could feel it here in my sinuses. We're going to have a storm tonight. I was feeling it in my lower back as well. So I know when there is going to be a storm coming.
Yeah, I don't know if Tommy's in here or not. But he gets, just before he's a very good meteorologist, let me tell you that. He was going to go to school to be a meteorologist, but nowadays you don't have to, because they're usually always wrong. So it's the only career I think that you can be wrong and still get paid for and not get fired. But Tommy reads the weather and stuff like that, but he can tell before it storms out and how intense the storm's going to be by his knees and his hips.
For me, it's headaches. I start getting, like I said, the sinus headaches, the pressure here, and all along my temple right here, and then my lower back will really, my hips and my lower back.
Yeah, usually when he gets all that stuff going on, he usually goes on his phone and he looks at he doesn't even really go based on what the weather actually says. He actually looks at the maps, and he's usually right on. He's like, you should just go on YouTube and do a weather channel, because
finding your balance.
You.
I feel the changes with the okay, so that's Hope right there. So Hope is walking back and forth in the
Yes, that's Hope. I do see that. That's Hope.
That's Hope.
It's not some teenager in basketball shorts and a hoodie.
Should we say that story, or should we not tell that story?
So before the live, we got together and we were talking, and
this is scary. I'm scared.
I'm going through a website that we use, that we buy our decal things from, right? And I'm sitting here and I look over, because I had this main screen over here and I had the other one over here so I could work. So I happened to look over to say something, because we were talking about something. I don't remember what it was. And I swear to God, I was like, are you the only one in your house? She's like, yeah, why? Because I just saw a teenager in a black hoodie with black like the basketball shorts. I said, walk from the left to the right into your door. And she's like, no, I'm the only one here. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't like it was like almost like a shadow person, because literally, like, it was all a black shadow like thing, but it was like human. I don't even know like how to explain it, but and then the cat was
going back and forth. Now Hope's going back and forth. Like, you see her, she keeps walking back and forth. So yeah, I'm like, it's in the hallway.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay. So, Melanie got up and she looked through the whole house and nobody there. And I'm just like, I know what I saw. I'm not that crazy. Maybe so I am that shit crazy.
You're not crazy. So I'm like, maybe somebody just came to visit, like one of my shadow people. I see things all the time. I tell people that, they think I'm crazy. So I'm like, I didn't see it. So maybe it was somebody that passed. I say hello. Everything's okay.
Yeah, because as soon as, we were like, hi, and, you address that they were there, that, this and that, the cat stopped pacing and she went around the corner.
It's not pacing. The cat is pacing. Yeah.
So it was a weird experience. And I started like freaking out, because I thought somebody was in the house with Melanie, and it wasn't. There was nobody there.
Nobody in the house. somebody from the church who passed away.
Yeah, it could very well could be.
I'm on church property, so
Right. And there's been, I'm sure, a lot of funerals held there. So a lot of visitations, a lot of wakes, that kind of thing. I mean, it's very possible. But it was just like I literally could see the swoosh of his leg or his basketball shorts when he was walking. I mean, that's how detailed it was. It was just all a black blur. Not even a blur. Like it was all black. But it was somebody, something. So
and see, this is supposed to be our regular show. This is not the paranormal hour.
well, they do say that mental health and the paranormal and stuff like that all intertwine. So, maybe I am batshit crazy and just don't want to realize it. I don't know.
Meantime, I'm still playing with my little thingamajig.
As Valerie says, that was the pastor's house. Yeah, and the thing is it was so vivid. Yeah, it's all intertwined. Exactly. Although there's been, I get pretty upset with some of the things that people chalk off to mental health that is not mental health. It's just psychotic, crazy people, not mental health, people who struggle with anxiety, with PTSD, bipolar, those kind of things. That's totally different than what some of the stuff that's going on right now, especially in our schools. Did you hear about the little girl that got attacked in her school in the lunchroom? And there was some hit list that happened or that was written out. This girl and her friend went to the school 5 hours before the attack, begging them to do something about this other student. They wouldn't do anything. Yeah, this student came in, attacked this girl's friend in front of everybody in the lunchroom because it was lunchtime, and the kids had to stay in the cafeteria while the staff cleaned up all the blood, and she was attacked with a Stanley Cup.
Did she survive, or?
I have no idea. I'm trying to find out more information on it.
Those stainless steel Stanley Cups, that can kill somebody.
Yeah, and I watched as the one girl that was second on the hit list, talking to the school board about what happened. And she said, we were forced to stand there in the same room so they could clean up all the blood. That is disgusting. That is not mental health. That's psycho. That is totally different than what we do here.
And that's not
what we talk about here.
That is almost a way to add to the trauma and the negativity of it, and that's not helping the situation.
Nope, it's not. And the thing is, it's happening more and more in our schools because the schools think that they're better than parents. And so there's more to the story. So please look up your own information on the story, because there are certain things that we will not touch base on with things that are happening in the world. This channel or Melanie's channel, we will not talk about. However, when you look into this situation that happened, it was in Pennsylvania. I hope that helps. I could not believe what I was reading. Could not believe. And there's video of it online of this poor girl getting attacked.
Well, that's
blew my mind.
I will say this. We are now in a society where it's more important to record something than it is to intervene and stop something. People would much rather record something that's happening rather than stopping it or doing something about it.
Right. And the thing is these were kids. They were in shock at what was going on. I completely understand that. I really completely understand that. But some of the students did record. And I think it was beneficial that they did at this point, because it was that other students were against the girl that was attacked. Like, it was horrible. It was horrible. And my heart and prayers and love go out to that girl and her family and all those students that had to be forced to stay in that room as they were cleaning up the mess of what happened. The school was warned 5 hours prior.
And they did
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, that's the thing in general. I feel when it comes to bullying and when it comes to problems, schools don't want to do anything to begin with.
They have an agenda right now that is far beyond what it needs to be. Their nose should not be in family business like that. They are there to teach correctly history, not their political views, not cater to political views. And that is what happened in this situation. That's as much as you're going to hear from me on that part of it. But that poor girl, they were given 5-hour notice and they did nothing.
That's sad.
Nothing.
No, I haven't heard that story, but it's
hold on one second.
But I almost also feel like just in general, there's been much more school violence happening more and more.
That was Jaslyn.
Hi, Jaslyn.
Hola. How are you?
Doing well. You're live.
All right. I sent it in private chat. So you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, so the school violence is getting out of hand.
Oh, okay.
Like when I graduated high school in 1999, that was the first year that it was made public of school violence. And it was very sad. It was very sad. Like we were caught off guard because you really didn't hear about it. I mean, it happened, but it wasn't like national news, world news, you know, and that was the first one that I ever remember seeing. And it was the year that I graduated. That was Columbine. So, and then it's just progressively gotten worse. And the attacks and stuff like that are happening in the schools is beyond me.
It's getting worse.
It is horrifying. My kids are homeschooled. They will never step foot into another school again. Not if it's in this. No, my daughter's got a couple years left of schooling. She will never step foot in a school again because of the crap that they're pushing now. Mm-hmm. And I know we talked about schools last week. I know that I was very fired up and very upset about it this week. Not so much. However, I do think that parents need to stand up to the schools and tell them enough is enough. Now, from what I'm understanding, in the next couple years, public school around here isn't, like in our town, isn't going to be even happening. They're going to be shipped out to other towns.
Interesting.
Talking about closing our schools here in town.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And shipping them off to like the Dells.
So they're going to make each classroom even bigger than they already are now.
Right now, we got a call. I don't know if I told you this, but we got a call from the school because they were trying to close Jaslyn's case that should have been closed like years ago. Years ago. They still had her in the getting money for her. They That's still ridiculous. Had her on the books, but yet she was homeschooled and not through the school. A counselor called, or some guy in the office called. I don't remember which one he was, but he called to close Jaslyn's case and find out why she wasn't in school. And I'm like, oh, she hasn't been in your school district in years. Said she's homeschooled. She's been homeschooled because one of your teachers thought it'd be slick to try to bully us into getting her on medication. And that's not happening. You're not getting more money from our daughter. And then come to find out they still had her listed as enrolled. So they were getting money for her when she wasn't even a part of the school district.
That's ridiculous.
It
was publicized, but it was already happening. Just didn't make news. I do agree it's happening more than it used to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the Michigan parents that got charged and their child's school stuff?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I think, if you don't mind me saying, I also wonder if this is a demographic thing, because you're telling me what happened in Pennsylvania and Michigan.
Yep.
I don't hear about that stuff. But then again, there are things that happen down here that my mom never hears about at all.
Right.
So it's like word of mouth news is not getting, like, the news is not reporting as it should be reporting.
Right. So in Michigan, there was a boy whose parents were told numerous times, you need to get him help. He was asking for help. He was turning in his homework, pleading for help. The things that he was turning in on his assignments, clearly this child needed help.
And
the
they refused
parents
to help him?
refused. Oh, there's nothing wrong with him. He's fine. They were called into school, I believe, that morning before he opened up. He opened up with the pew in the school, and they were like, you need to take him home. He needs help. He's asking for help. Nope, he's fine. Left the school, lunchtime came, and pew and his parents, both of them, got charged.
Wow.
Yep.
Because the other thing is, where did he get the guns? Did he get them from them?
They had bought him his pew 4 or 5 days before it happened, and then took him to the pew range so he could learn how to use it.
I mean, okay, you know something? I will say this. I believe that, like, the Second Amendment, that people do have the right to own guns.
Right.
At the same time, I do believe that there should be restrictions against people who have mental health issues. And I mean serious mental health issues.
Yeah, serious ones. Ones where they've actually harmed somebody or themselves.
Yes.
That I do 100% agree. However,
they can't do that because of the HIPAA laws and everything.
Right. So here's the thing, though. His dad calls and claims, well, we don't know where it is, the pew. Okay. They were at the school. There's video of them being at the school. They're telling them, your son needs help, take him in. They refused. He does this, right? They arrest him, and the parents go on the run.
That shows your guilt.
Investigators went to talk to them about the situation. They went on the run. I don't remember exactly where they were found, but they went to a friend's place who was like, I am not having anything to do with this, and called and snitched on them.
Good.
Yep. Because they knew something was wrong with him. They knew he needed help. He literally was screaming at the top of his lungs, I can't get this out of my head. I need help. And they refused. So they are the first set of parents out of all the pews that have happened in school to be charged with a crime, because it was the boy's money. The dad went and bought it, and it was horrible.
If I'm not mistaken, you do have to be over a certain age to buy a gun, correct? Okay. So the dad bought it under his name and gave it to the son. Okay, so then that's,
he bought it with the son's money. So,
but whoever's money it is doesn't matter. It's whoever's actually purchasing it. So the father purchased it.
Oh yeah.
Then gave it to his son. Yep. So that makes it,
And they, I guess their house was horribly hoarders. Horrible. So when the son's room got messed up, he got moved to a second room. Instead of making him clean his room, they just put another bed in another room and let him sleep in there. We get upset with Jaslyn when her room is not up to par. It's not clean. We get upset and she gets grounded. She loses her phone. She loses her computer time. If she doesn't get to watch TV, her internet box comes down because she has a streaming box. She loses all of that until her room is clean. And it's not like we're asking for it to be spick and span because she is a teenage girl, but we want it clean. And if you're not going to abide by the rules of it being clean, then you're not going to have the extras that come along with being in the house. If that makes sense.
I know
she earn that stuff.
She may or may not appreciate it now, but I'm telling you, the skills she's learning now by enforcing to keep her room clean is going to help for the future.
Well, that's all our kids have chores. Okay, when Joey was living here, he had chores. Jaslyn had chores. Okay, they both know how to cook. They both know how to wash dishes. They both know how to clean. They both know how to do their laundry. They both know how to fold their clothes, put their clothes away, keep clean. We taught them all of that because we felt that was important. Now, when Joey was living here, he literally, and there was a lot of other things that we taught him as well, because we felt that it was important as a human being that you knew how to do this stuff, how to take care of yourself. Well, the whole time Joey lived here, it was a headache, like big headache. Jaslyn was a lot cleaner than Joey was. But it's still, you have to keep your room clean. If you have dirty clothes, bring them down, get them washed, stuff like that. Fold, put away, clean bedding, all that stuff, right? He moves out, and just recently when we talked to him, or last few times that we have talked to him on the phone, because he's working and stuff, he was thanking Tommy, mostly Tommy, about some of the things I couldn't teach him as a woman. I couldn't teach him certain things as a woman. Tommy was able to teach him things as a man to man thing. And Joey was like, Dad, do you remember when you taught me this? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, thank you. He's like, I know how to do this. And, he's older now, he's 18 now. And same thing with Jaslyn, I'm waiting for the day where, things I've taught her as a woman, hopefully, works. There's some things that even me as a woman, I don't quite understand. Like, I'm not, one of those ones that I have to get my nails done, or, I have to have lots of makeup on, stuff like that. I mean, that I'm more of a tomboy girl, I'm not the girly girl. I'm the tomboy, and that's what she is. So she most likely learned all that from me, but yet
she'll appreciate it in the future. She may not understand it now, but in the future she'll understand.
Tommy teaches her how to work on the vehicles. He's taught her how to defend herself, stuff like that. Where with me, cooking and dishes, laundry, the traditional woman's thing, and it's like, so now, right now, her thing is, I was washing it when Joey moved out. Dishes were one of Joey's jobs, his chores. Okay. We call it jobs because of the fact that, eventually it's going to be a job, depending on where you go. But his chore was dishes and cleaning the kitchen. Well, when he moved out, I didn't think it was fair that Jaslyn would have to take on all the responsibility that when Joey left, what he was doing. So I made sure to, the kitchen, I took over that. The only thing she had to do was dry and put away. No big deal. Well, for the last 2 weeks, somebody decided that she didn't want to rinse out her dishes. And so for the last 2 weeks, her chore has been washing dishes, drying and putting them away. And she was like, oh, I hate dishes. Well, then rinse out your plates and your cups and stuff. and you won't have to do them anymore. But until then, until you catch on that you need to rinse your dishes out because it's a pain in the butt to try to clean them when it's stuck on, it's like you are going to have dish duty until you figure out that you need to rinse them off. And she likes ramen, so we've got those 3-minute ramen cookers that you put in the microwave. Remember when those came out, the black dishes that were like this, and then you fill it to a certain line, you put it in the microwave for 3 minutes. It's ramen. Well, ramen's greasy, and she was just throwing those in the sink.
Oh no, because that's hard when
Oh, it drove me nuts. I'm like, I'm not doing the dishes when it's all greasy, gross. I don't like that. So until I'll take back over the dishes when she figures out that you need to, when she can go a good couple of days rinsing out every dish that she has, then I'll take back over the dish part of it. However, until then, she's going to keep washing dishes until she gets it right, because I know darn well that when she gets her own place, she's not going to tolerate that.
Right.
She's not gonna have the money to go and buy paper plates and bowls and all that, and you can't microwave that stuff, so it's like it'll melt. So
you need to have dishes, and you got to wash your dishes.
Yeah.
Speaking, this is just an aside. They came out with a new ramen flavor at Walmart, and it's a what was it? It's like a pancake sausage egg ramen.
Yes, we did see that.
Well, so far the reviews I've heard, they said it's awful and disgusting, but I'm like, what were they thinking of a egg sausage?
It's ramen breakfast.
No, that stuff was so salty to begin with.
I don't eat ramen, not really. I like the little cup ones, like the cup servings with the carrots and the peas and stuff like that in there.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But they came out with the flavor.
Yeah, those ones. Yeah, I won't try that.
Neither will I. I saw it and I'm like, oh hell no, no.
I actually forgot about those. Jazz had heard. She came running down the stairs.
What are they, cup of noodles or something like that? And
ramen. Nobody summoned you. We're talking about ramen noodles. That's
ramen noodles.
Summoning you.
I've been summoned. Anyway.
But to me, they're just so salty and disgusting. You know what it is? I think I get created with when I'm sick. So whenever I need my ramen. Take a look at Walmart. They came out with 2 flavors. One was the breakfast one, and then there was another flavor, but I forgot what the other flavor was. Now I got to look it up. I completely forgot what the other flavor was.
I know exactly because we just saw that, and we were going to pick some up the other day, and when we were at Walmart, and we totally forgot. We got kind of sidetracked with plants. we can't go anywhere. Well, Walmart, we can't go without getting a new plant.
Yeah, I gotta look up what that flavor is because I can't remember it, and I see it, but what's the new flavor? That's the breakfast one. It's a Walmart exclusive, so you can only get it at Walmart. I guess that is the flavor.
Everything bagel.
That's it, the bagel one. Thank you. Because that's the other one. Because I'm like, I was thinking that I'm going to get New York bagels, and I'm like, no.
So they have, so the everything bagel, ramen noodle and sauce, that's one. And then the other one is breakfast ramen. It's maple syrup pancakes, sausage, and egg.
And there's chunks of egg and sausage in it.
Yeah, I'm good. No.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds disgusting. No.
Yeah. But yeah, see, and that's Jaslyn too. She'll try anything once. And that's one thing that we are really happy about is like both the kids, they've never been picky with their food. You know how like some parents you hear, oh, my kids only eat French fries or they only eat chicken nuggets. Not my kids. Jaslyn was able to break open lobster tail or lobster legs. No, crab legs. That's it. I'll get this. Crab legs before she was 5 years old. because we used to have a buffet in the Dells at the casino where they would have all you can eat crab legs.
Ugh.
And we
Makes me
would
want
go. Yeah, we would take the kids there. I mean, it's a buffet. They can eat whatever they wanted. And Jaslyn and Joey would pile up a plate full of crab legs, come to the table, and Jaslyn was able to crack them out. Half the time she had to crack mine open too because I couldn't do it. She's like,
That-
like this, Mom.
That happened when my mom came to visit last 2 years ago. She came to visit Texas and she just had hand surgery. So she was getting wrist surgery in both of it with like a carpal tunnel or whatever it
Oh,
was.
yep.
And she couldn't crack it open. So I'm like, don't worry, I got you covered. So I'm at the table and crack, 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 crack. And I'm getting all the meat for a crack, crack, crack. But I mean, it can't be much worse than egg and bacon and sausage pizza.
That's actually good.
That is. That's like a quiche.
Yeah, just
Like I can get away with an egg, sausage, bacon pizza, but to have that with salty ramen noodles and soup, no.
No. Mm-mm.
And
No,
like I
I'm
said,
good.
I think I equate it because I've always had ramen when I was sick. So whenever I was sick, that was the food of choice, was ramen. And I think I created this hate relationship with it because in my head, if I'm eating it, then it means I'm sick.
I think it's the texture for me. Yeah, it's too salty as well, but I think it's the texture.
It's
I just
slimy.
can't
It's
get
like
over it.
it's like worms or something.
Yeah, I can't get over the texture. And so yeah, I remember you said quiche. I remember the first time I made quiche for Tommy and the kids. That was funny. They're like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's quiche. It's like goulash, but in egg style, you know." And they were like, "Oh, yeah, well, they loved it." So
I don't eat ramen because it's good. I eat it because it's cheap.
yeah, and then so Jaslyn, I mean, she's a huge ramen eater. She loves. I mean, she's got bowls with the chopsticks and everything for ramen. So her house, we figured out what her house is gonna have when she's out on her own. She's gonna have ramen noodles, every flavor you can think of. She's gonna have Doritos. It's the only name brand thing she's gonna have, and pizza.
I keep saying to my mom, I want pizza.
Oh, and orange soda. She'll have orange soda or Dr. Pepper to drink.
Dr. Pepper tastes like medicine. It's cough
Well, it
medicine.
was medicine at one time.
I know. When I drink Dr. Pepper, I feel like I'm drinking cherry cough medicine. That's what I feel like. And down here, everybody drinks Dr. Pepper. It's disgusting.
Then Tommy and Jan will fit right in. Mr. Pickles would fit right in.
Dr.
You love
Pepper
Dr.
is the number one soda down here in Texas. It's not
Oh,
even
that's
Coke and
wild.
Pepsi. It's Dr. Pepper.
See,
So
that's
it's
wild. Yeah, we have Pibex, Dr. Thunder, which is the Walmart's generic Dr. Pepper, and then Dr. Pepper. Now, Mr. Pickles, actually, his favorite soda, and he only gets it once in a great while, is Dr. Thunder, the Walmart brand. So he yeah, when he gets that, he knows he's been good, and he gets it, and he doesn't have seizures from it. For a while, he was having seizures all the time, no matter what we gave him. He just was constantly having seizures. Dr. Pepper is what kind of snapped it out, or him out of, or the Dr. Thunder was what kind of snapped him out of the whole seizure thing constantly.
wow. So there's an ingredient in there that
Yeah.
is good for him.
Yeah, and it was used as medicine at one time, just like Coca-Cola was used as a medication at one
Yeah,
time.
but there was actually cocaine in Coca-Cola.
I know. Yeah, I found out later on. My mom was very addicted to Coca-Cola.
The original Coca-Cola had cocaine in it. That's what made it.
Yeah, I know. We always pick on my mom about that because she was addicted to Coca-Cola. It never failed. when we lived in Florida, my mom would go to I think it was 7-Eleven, get the big cups, and it was always a couple times a day. She'd walk to the gas station right down the road and get that to drink. That's the only thing she drank. She would make us like sweet tea and Kool-Aid, stuff like that. Although I wasn't a big Kool-Aid drinker, I was a sweet tea drinker, which is what's in my cup tonight. It's my new Dunkin' mug,
Oh,
and it's pink.
Drink it.
But it's got sweet tea, and it is. They're selling it in Walmart now. Now I can't think of what the heck the name of the sweet tea is, but it's from Alabama.
Okay.
I'll have to. I was gonna have Jasmine, but they just ran to the store. But yeah, it's brewed in Alabama. So when we went down to Alabama to visit Tommy's brother, / best friend, Dwayne, mothership. So they asked us what we wanted to drink. And I was like, well, what do you have? And they said sweet tea. And I'm like, sold. I hadn't had sweet tea or boiled peanuts in forever. And let me tell you, I was in my glory.
Wait, didn't we talk about boiled peanuts recently? Like,
yes, but not on a live. I don't think if we were live when we talked about
those
it.
things are nasty.
Those are a southern delicacy.
They're slimy and they smell bad and they have like the weird colored water. It's like dirty water.
I actually have a can that we bought in Alabama, brought home. So when I get a craving for my boiled peanuts, I just open the can up, warm it up in the crock pot for like 6 to 8 hours, and I'm golden.
Have you put peanuts in Coke? Because that's another thing that they do. They'll take a bottle
Oh,
of
in the
Coke.
South? Yeah, I've had it. But I don't drink a lot. I don't drink dark, actual caffeine, or like, I don't drink dark soda anymore. But I have done it. Not my thing, but my thing is boiled peanuts.
And it was like, no.
I love boiled peanuts, and I don't know if it's because of the flavor or if it's because of a memory. When we would go to my grandfather's house, so we lived in Brooksville, Florida, and we would go to Orlando to my grandpa's house, okay? And on the way, so the way we would turn to go to Orlando from Brooksville is either you go right to Spring Hill, which is where Weeki Wachee is, the mermaids, or you take a left and you go, left to go to Orlando. However, there was a boiled peanut stand that was not far from when we would turn at that intersection to go to my grandpa's. And we would stop every time so that we had a road snack. Now, I know I was probably the one that ate the most boiled peanuts, but we used to fight over them as kids. It was our thing. So we always made, mom and dad always made sure that they were, we had them. And when I went down to Florida for my Nana, which I was telling you about, my biological was like, what would you like to eat? And I said, I want sweet tea and boiled peanuts. And he's like, boiled peanuts? Really?
Yeah.
I'm like, look, we don't have them in Wisconsin. I need my damn boiled peanuts.
Well, so that I understand, because that's what I'm doing. I have a list of things when I go to New York that I say, I want this. And Finding Balance says, well, I'm no longer in Stephenville. I'm now in Wichita Falls. But even down in Stephenville, I don't remember seeing boiled peanuts. There may have been. I avoided boiled peanuts completely.
So with boiled peanuts, like I could make them up here, no problem. The only problem I have is that they're already either roasted or salted, and you want to do them when they're not. You don't want them pre-salted because you mix that.
So you want them like unsalted raw, right?
Yeah, you have to have raw peanuts to do it. And that's and a lot of people don't understand that. You have to have raw peanuts to make boiled peanuts because the flavor comes from the actual water, and that's why it looks funny. It's because of all the seasonings and stuff in the water. So you can have either regular salted boiled peanuts, or you can have the Cajun style boiled peanuts. Either way, you actually have to boil them for 6 to 8 hours for them to do anything that you need them to do for boiled peanuts.
Now, see, on the other end, like New York is known for their either toffee or honey roasted peanuts. So they'll have peanuts, they'll have almonds, they'll have cashews, and it is incredible. I mean, they're crunchy, but it's like a candy coating on the outside of it. And the smell is always incredible. So something like that, I'll be like, okay, toffee nut peanuts or toffee cashews or the honey roasted are amazing. But boiled, because if not, they're slimy. You okay? She's getting distracted.
I am, because I did a post on Facebook in our group.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to
more drama.
Screenshot it. Oh yeah, lots of it. Not happy with that. I did a good evening, share your fishing photos and stuff like that. And how are grown ass men gonna act like a bunch of babies and think that they're being slick by talking nasty to a woman?
Because
they're disgusting.
Well, we had this conversation. I mean, I'm not going to go into details what happened. But in general, people believe that they are like keyboard warriors. They will never physically say it to your face what is going on. But sure enough, they will stay behind the keyboard and rip you apart, tell you anything and everything, but they'll never have the balls to say it to somebody's face. Oh, because we're babies.
No, let me tell you, it is horrible. It's horrible what the things that they're doing. And it's a fishing group. It's for people to have fun, not for guides to go and act like a bunch of whiny little brats. And because we took our group back, we had 2 admins for the group. I created the group for Tommy because he was getting into fishing, and we had 2 admins, and one of them took it upon themselves to try to take over the group, and that is not what the understanding was when we asked them to be an admin. So now his little cronies are being nasty and disgusting, and
we're babies.
We want to be pampered and taken care of, and if you breastfeed us, we get.
You know something? Okay, I shouldn't even. I'm not going to say this. No, I'm not going to say this. I'm going to be good. But you know something? I will say this. What is it with guys in general? Because I find it in my experience, and I'm not trying to generalize this, but most of the time, with my partners, I end up having to do all the work in the relationship. I have to like cook, clean, take care of them, remind them of things. It's like, why can't they just take care of themselves?
Tommy does, Tommy takes care of himself, and he also helps take care of us, and vice versa. It should be a 50-50 thing. If a woman is strictly taking care of a man,
then there's something wrong.
There's something wrong with that situation, and the man needs to check himself, because it's supposed to be a 50-50 situation. Now, there are times where I take more than my 50% share, and there's times that Tommy needs more, but it's a give and take thing, And when a woman is doing everything because your lazy ass doesn't want to take care of yourself and do the things you're supposed to, that's on you. You have a problem. Maybe you need to be taken to a hospital because you need some help. But that's just my opinion.
No,
And that's not speaking of anybody in the chat or anything like that. That's just my opinion. But so he did.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That
There's
might
his name, everybody. He
Uh-oh.
thinks he's slick. There's his picture. And that's what he told me to do. That is not what our page is about.
I mean, okay. The best thing to do is just get rid of all of them, block them, kick them out of the group, and say that we are the owners of the group. We're an admin of this group. We are doing a major cleanup. If you have any disagreements with the way this group is handled, there's the door. Goodbye.
Now, everybody else that I am is being awesome. You know, they're sharing pictures of their fish. Ooh, this guy
That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a fun group that you could share ideas.
I got a nice catch. Let me see if you guys can see that. Perch. Fish. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not much of a fisherman. However, I do like seeing nice fish. And when Tommy catches a big fish, I'm really happy. And I'm like, send me a picture. I want to see. Even though, and I can't be on the boat during the day anyway. I usually got to wait until the sun goes down because I can't be in the sun. But, oh, that's a pretty baby. Sorry, guys. I got to show. Look at that baby.
She's getting distracted about the fish.
He's pretty.
The fish.
Yeah, this guy posted a bunch of them, and very pretty fish.
Now, in your area, do you need a permit or a license in order to fish?
Every state you need a license to fish.
They changed it in every state?
What is it? Sovereign citizen or something like that. Sovereign. I don't know if I'm saying that term correctly, but yeah, for the most part, you do need a license to fish. You also have to have different stamps for different species. Like here in Wisconsin, you have to have like a tramp. Hold on. It's a stamp. It's a trout stamp.
Trout
it's a trout stamp. To be able to fish in the trout streams. And then we have like sturgeon. I think you need a stamp for. There's a couple of different species that you do need a stamp for. You have to pay extra for that. Otherwise, there's rules when you fish, and you have to have a fishing license. When you turn 16 is when you can get your first fishing license, or you have to get your first fishing license. Before 16, you do not. Now, Jaslyn just she worked hard and she got herself her own fishing license, her very first fishing license.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. And she also got a card. It's like your ID card, your driver's license, ID, and stuff like that. But it's specifically for the DNR. And it is, you buy the card one time, and all your information goes on there. Your fishing license, any stamps that you decide you want to get for other types of fish that you have to have a stamp for, your boating license, which she goes next month to do her boating license, because you have to have that too. And if you were born in a certain year, your hunter safety, your hunting licenses, all that stuff goes on this card. So it's all in one place. And she bought her own card. She bought her first fishing license. She worked hard to do it. And so very proud of her for that. And like I said, she did. She just took, next month she's going for a boat safety course. And at 16, she'll be able to drive the boat by herself once she passes that course. Now, she just took a practice course on the computer to see how she would do, and she passed. So when she goes to that course, it's a 2-night course. It's from 4 to 9, I think. And once she she goes to both courses, learn what she needs to learn, and or refresh in her case, because she did read everything beforehand and took this pre-test, and then she'll get her boating license. So
That's great.
um, she wants her driver's license, but I think she's just between you and me and y'all, I think she's a little nervous about the driving test. I think she'd be a great driver. I just think that she's not quite ready for that yet. But she can, read the book, and when she's ready, then she's ready. But and then she, with her schooling and stuff. So and then she's CPR certified now. She got that in March, I think it was.
That's great.
So, yep. And then she actually got an announcement. I'm very proud of her as well. She will be also not only doing the Wisconsin Rapids Cadet Fire Cadet program. Not only is she an Adams County Fire Cadet cadet, she also will be working at the Humane Society. She is going to be volunteering at this Humane Society a couple of times a week, but because they loved her so much, she walked herself into a job.
That's great.
Yep, she's got the application. The only thing is we told her, you need to make sure that you actually like it before you decide yes or no on getting a job there. So volunteer for a couple weeks. If you really like doing it, then put that application in. But we didn't want her to just jump right into it and then find out, oh, this is not for me. You know what I mean? She's getting the opportunity to go and try it out, see if she likes it. And she's great with animals. She loves animals. She wants to be in the medical field, not only for people, but for animals too. So
Did you in the house? Hi.
Hello. So I mean, in all actuality,
See, that's well rounded. I mean, not only, like, I know you said that she's tomboy, but I mean, getting involved in fishing, getting involved in hunting, getting involved in boating, getting involved in the firehouse with that is an impressive, and the fact that she's such a go-getter doing all these things.
She's 16. She just turned 16 a few months ago. And let me tell you, this girl, she knows how, she's ridden, she knows how to ride a motorcycle. She's known how to ride a motorcycle before she was 5 years old. Yeah, she rides. Yep, she was going to be a motocross. Things just didn't kind of work out the way that we thought it was going to for her because of her feet. Now her feet are corrected, and if she wanted to go to motocross, she would be able to. But she tried before she was 5 years old. She was running around our backyard on a 50cc. And she was able to start it. The only thing she couldn't do because of her feet was she didn't have enough pressure to change the gears. So that's why it was, in our backyard, in the alley, or at Grandpa's house. So, and then Tommy would follow her around on a dirt bike as well. She knows how to drive a Kubota. My dad has a Kubota on his property, and Jaslyn knows how to drive it. She knows how she can get on that thing and do what she needs to do with it. A Kubota. Like, really? I don't even know how to do that. Four-wheelers. Let's see what else.
That's what it is. And I think what's great about it is you as a parent, you're encouraging her. I think a lot of parents don't necessarily encourage their children when they want to follow their dreams or their wishes and that can be a detrimental to the growth of the child. The fact that you're encouraging her to do anything, to try anything, to explore. And you even said it yourself that she loves to explore. That used to be my philosophy.
Junkie.
Right. That's my philosophy is you got to try something at least once. Even if you don't like it, try it, explore it, you'll learn from it. And this way you can determine whether you want to stick with it or you want to try something else. So I think, but there's a but to that. If you're an adrenaline junkie, that can get you in a lot of trouble because you decide to try things in the bad sense. So that's one thing. As she gets a little
okay, so that's where, okay, so that's what I initially thought as well. But because she has seen the adrenaline junkie stuff, the negative part of it, now before she even got on a motorcycle, Tommy made her sit and watch videos for 2 years. Not just the good videos, but all the videos. Things that could go wrong, things that could happen if you were, you got involved in motocross. Tommy was in motocross. Tommy was good at motocross. So, he was just, it was weird because he was just watching a video that popped up and Jaslyn instantly loved it. Instantly said she wanted to do that. And he was like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah." And so she was able, he sat her down, pros, cons, all of that. And she still wanted to do it. So we got her a 50cc. And she, by the end of summer, she looked straight at us and said, "It's not fast enough. I can't do jumps." She wanted to do freestyle motocross, which I don't know if some of you know what that is or not. Freestyle is where they do like the big hops and stuff like that, and it's not around a track. They just do different stunts and tricks and stuff like that. That's what she wanted to do.
Well, that's why I'm warning you, because that's what ends up happening is the more you experience, you get that adrenaline high. You get that
right
where you want to try something. And even if you are level-headed, you are on the straight path, even if you know the consequences, you're still going to want to do more and more and more and more. And that's where it can get.
And that's the thing, like, okay, so she kind of inherited the adrenaline junkie part when it comes to the fire department because of my dad and because of my brother. They're both, my dad's a retired fire chief, my brother is on the fire department, and I always growing up, that's what I knew. I knew the fire department. That was our family. That was our extended family. And so I'm very proud of the fire department. Now I also have a family that are police officers. Actually, one of my family members just retired at the beginning of this year, I believe, or was the end of last year, beginning of this year. I can't remember which one it was. But you don't want to mess with her. And you don't want to mess with me because my auntie.
Oh, you're the mama bear that'll come out with the claws.
My auntie is the mama bear that'll come out with claws, and she's my auntie. A lot of people have met my Aunt Kelly. Intensify that by like 50, 100. Yeah, my auntie saw me being born. My other auntie keeps telling everybody I was her birthday present because I was born a day before her birthday. Yeah, so I'm her birthday present. I was my Aunt Kelly's baby doll because my Aunt Kelly's only like 8 or 9 years old.
And you were so tiny.
Me. I was very tiny.
I know. I'm still playing with the.
That's okay. So I have a very.
I gotta get a bunch of these. I think I'm having too much fun with these, and I gotta get a few of them.
Yeah, you need a few of those. You gotta hang them up behind you as a display. But yeah, so I mean, in all actuality, life can be really crazy. It can be really tough, but in the end, you got to keep trucking. And that's what I keep telling Jaslyn. Joey too. Joey, we did all we could with him. He's on his own now, and all we can do is just kind of sit back and hope that we did a good job. Same with Jaslyn. Jaslyn is, she's 16. She is very strong-willed. She is determined to, when she sets her mind to something, she's very determined to do it, and let me tell you, she is Tommy's mini-me. Now, a lot of you know Tommy, a lot of you don't know Tommy. The ones that do know Tommy know that Tommy is not one to mess around with. Jaslyn, let me tell you, his mini-me to a T. To a point where they have the same allergies. They have the same blood type. She is just, the only difference between them is that she's a girl and he's a man. He's a boy, she's a girl. The only difference between them. You don't want to mess with them. You just don't want to mess with them. And I feel very protected. But yeah, so she's going to be volunteering at the animal shelter or at the Humane Society, which is a no-kill shelter. So you'll probably be hearing me. I think I'm going to find out from Jaslyn if she can take a picture of a different animal each week and get information on that animal. And I think during our mental health lives, I think we're going to showcase one of their animals that needs a home.
Aw.
And if you know anybody in the Humane Society or you have a Humane Society by you, we can also showcase an animal by you as well. So I know they have Facebook pages, the Humane Societies, and web pages. I think that's what they're called.
Downside is down here, all the shelters are completely full. I mean, I don't know if
that's how it is here too.
It's like,
are they no-kill shelters or are they?
They're both.
They're both.
Here. Yeah.
So we'll work on that.
There's more kill shelters than there are no-kill shelters.
Yeah, then we'll have to work on the kill shelters, animal shelters down there, because ours is a no-kill. Ours is no-kill shelter. So animals come in and they, that's where they stay until they find a home, and they are booked and they're packed. And if we can spread awareness of animal shelters, humane societies, for animals that need homes, that would be awesome. So there was an Akita there, and I slept in. I started my new medicine on Friday, so I ended up sleeping in, and I missed being able to go with Jaslyn to her orientation. So Tommy went with her, and they were telling me that they have an Akita there, and the Akita, pretty quiet, mild, meek, right? And all the other dogs were going crazy, and he howled like a wolf, loud and long, and all the other animals immediately shut up.
And they're not gonna mess with him.
No, I want to meet this Akita. I'm terrified of dogs.
See, that's another problem, is she's gonna get involved in the animal shelter. She's gonna want to start adopting.
If we can, we're going to actually not adopt, but foster, if we're able to. They do have one dog that can only be in a home with no other animals. Can't have any other animals. He was not trained properly, so it's not his fault that he eats other animals. It is the previous owner or the owner that trained him to eat other animals.
That's not good.
So he is in the shelter, and he probably will not find a home, so he'll probably be there to the end of his days, unless he can find somebody that doesn't have other pets in his home.
Wow.
If
animals are too aggressive, they usually put them
down. He's not aggressive. He's sweet as can be. It's just other animals. He can't. He's just a one animal household. So, but I love pit bulls. They're my favorite. But now this Akita that Tommy said that they got to meet, I'm like, I just want to hear him howl. That's all I want to do. I want to hear him howl. And
Jaslyn go in and record the howl.
Yep, that's what she's gonna do for me when she starts volunteering. And then they just had a Lab and German Shepherd mix come in. I think it was. It's a German Shepherd mix, but I think they said it was a Lab, but I'm not sure what the other half of his breed was. And I was like, oh, a German Shepherd, huh? I'm like, we like German Shepherds.
I will say this: dogs are great until they start howling and they don't stop howling.
I had a blue tick German Shepherd mix, which is hound and police dog. So I had like the best of both worlds. But he used to switch between breeds, which is unusual. He was always hound until somebody he didn't know came near the kids or me. Then he would switch to German Shepherd, the protective part of the German Shepherd. It would always come out. And he would not switch back until that person was completely out of his sight and gone. And then his nose would be back to the ground. And I love that dog. I miss that dog. And then I had a blue tick black and tan hound mix. His name was Billy. And he didn't do the howl like a hound would normal. He would like, oof, oof, that kind of thing. But he never howled really. I don't even know if I did the sound right. Forgive.
We got to go. You sounded like you're ready to drop a beat and do like a rap song.
Well, but that's just how he was. He wasn't he wasn't a loud dog, but he loved water. And then we got so I had Billy, and then we got Lucky, which was a yellow lab and never been in water before. But Billy was able to get Lucky into the water. Then we couldn't get the little brat out of the water. He wanted to be in water all the time. And I was like, really? And then I had my kitty cat, Miracle, who was a purebred Bombay with 3 legs. He had 3 legs.
It
he
was
lost
born that way, or
no, he had to have surgery to have it removed. He had feline AIDS.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. And so it would have been fine, but my ex decided to put his bandage on too tight, and he ended up, his leg turned blue. It was so weird. And then he ended up losing his leg, but he actually got around better with 3 legs than he ever did with 4.
Oh, poor cat.
Oh no, man, he was so free. Like people would be like, oh, and I'm like, nope, don't even do that, because he will look at you and hiss at you for trying to feel sorry for him.
I feel bad, but I'm thinking about those dogs that don't have like the 2 front legs, and they have to like a worm, like these.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, all right, quality of life. I think you need to put the dogs down. I mean, that's my opinion.
Right.
But it's like, I almost feel like sometimes people thrive on having a animal that's either disabled or weird looking, or hello, Jen. Hi, JRK.
She's watching the Bucks game. How are they doing? We don't watch sports, so
what
that's for Wisconsin.
What sport is that?
It's basketball, I think.
Oh, basketball? Okay.
Yeah. Jen will have to tell me for sure if that's basketball. I think it's basketball.
I have no idea.
We have
behind a little at halftime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's one of our Bucks, and then we have the Packers, which is football. We have baseball, which is.
We're doing well. I'm already in vacation mode. So after tomorrow night, I'm waking up like 1 a.m. in the morning, hopping on the road, and then going to New York.
Brewers. I couldn't remember. It was like right there. That's our baseball team is the Brewers. Packers is actually a fan-owned team. So if you live in Wisconsin, you own, like, pay taxes and stuff like that in Wisconsin. You own a piece of the Packers. Yeah. So I'm a football owner, a football team owner. So is Jenna. So is JRKR. So is Tommy. So is Jasmine. um, but no, it's funny, you know. When I worked in Green Bay, used to have Packers used to come into Walmart. It's really weird. You think that they would never shop at Walmart, but yeah, no, they were in Walmart.
Yeah,
Told
'cause
one of them off. Told
Where
one
if
of them
you
off
live in
because
that
they
area, where are you gonna shop if that's the only thing available?
well, and the thing is like, of course they would put one behind me, and I'd have to get into it with them because he smelled. So
Which call it? The singer Jewel, she used to live in Stephenville. She would go to Walmart all the time.
yeah, and that's the thing is, it's they watch. I mean, they got a shop, but Walmart West was where they went, and even though I wasn't a loud person, but I have a very sensitive nose, so I can smell very well, and the smell of BO while I'm working is not something that I really want to smell. And my friend Laura did the exact same thing when I told the Packer player behind me, dude, really, you couldn't have taken a shower? You reek. And he's like, do you know who you're talking to? I'm like, I don't give a hell who you are. You smell. You should have taken a shower before you came in. You're representing the Packers and you're representing Walmart and you reek. Everybody was looking at me like, what?
How dare you say that?
I didn't care. I didn't follow sports then either, but I knew he was a Packer player because my friend Laura was like, oh my God, that's a Packer player. I'm like, oh, good. Just like Aaron Tippin, the country singer, met him. He saved my job at Walmart.
I was gonna say, does he smell?
No, he smelled good. He smelled good.
He smelled
yeah, he smelled good. But
that's it. Everybody, every famous person that does meats is gonna smell. He smells bad. Nope, he smells good.
No, Aaron Tippin smelled good. He came to sign autographs at Walmart, and Walmart didn't treat him very good. They made him stand out in the rain.
Oh, that's mean.
He was about ready to leave, but yeah, he blocked the door so I couldn't get out of the break room, and it wasn't like he was doing it intentionally, but yeah, I was like, excuse me, I need to get back to work, and he's like, where do you work? And I'm like, cashier, and he's like, oh, you'll be fine. Went to go clock back in, and my boss was standing there ready to yell at me. He's like, he's like, I stopped her, she's helping me. You don't like it? Tough. And I was like, I love Aaron Tippin. I mean, we used to have, people come in all the time at Walmart, which is really weird. We had Packers come in, met a lot of their wives. Very nice people, very, very sweet. But it was just...
not to talk freaky, but I am convinced that Walmart is a portal to another dimension because you meet all kinds of people at Walmart. I worked at Walmart. That's it. I'm like, you meet all kinds of people at Walmart.
I worked at Walmart. Tommy worked at Walmart. Like, I think that's like one of those jobs that, like, if you don't have to pay a whole lot of bills, it's a perfect place for it. But our store manager in Green Bay, or Walmart West in Green Bay, at the time that I worked there, he actually ended up getting fired, from what I understand, because he was refusing to allow people to transfer out of the store. So once you were transferred into that store, you started working there. Now in Walmart, you're able to put in transfers to any other Walmart in wherever they have a Walmart. Well, he was denying them. He wasn't even sending them through. And people couldn't understand why. And so they would call at the other Walmart that they were trying to get into, so because they were moving or whatever reason, school. And they're like, well, we never got a transfer. Well, he ended up getting shit canned, from what I understand, because that is not okay. Walmart doesn't like that.
And Walmart managers make a ton of money.
Store managers, yep.
Yes. If you're a store manager, you're living pretty. So the fact that you get canned as a manager is sad.
It is. Well, and it was horrible to work for him. He was just a horrible person in general. So So one of my best friends growing up, Mike, his dad, which I call dad, and his mom I call mom. I've just known them for years. I call them my adoptive parents. And he was a big manager for Walmart. And what he would do was they would move to a new Walmart that was being built, and he would get it up and running off off the ground, get it, to a point where, when the next Walmart opened up, then that's where they would move to. And then, so he worked at the one in Shawano, which was, I don't know, like 20 minutes from the house or whatever. And when they moved, it was devastating. When they had to move, because he had gotten the store up and going, and he had been there for a couple years actually, which was pretty cool. He was able to stay for a couple years. And then when they moved to Florida, and then I still talk to him. Still, once in a while we'll video chat, but we always are messaging back and forth.
So you stayed friends. That's good.
Oh yeah. Their son and I were really good friends. I mean, we were like best friends. And so, their daughter Rachel is the one that passed away a couple years ago from colon cancer.
Oh, that's sad.
That broke my heart. That was so hard because she was so young, and she was one of the youngest that ever had to deal with that any of us knew, and so she has a son. He's cute, so adorable.
Was she like very young, or
she was in her 30s, early 30s?
Still, that's you still have a lifetime ahead of you.
Oh yeah, and her son, he looks just like his mama. He looks just like Rachel, and I see all the updates and stuff, and she'd be so proud of him. So proud of him. And he does. Every time I see him, I think of Rachel, and so she was able to at least pass herself on through her son, and she was amazing. She was really amazing person, and I wish more people would have been able to see her and meet her, and I wish there was a way that she could have beat this. And she did go into remission once, but then it came back with vengeance. And I guess that's what it usually happens. So, yeah, it's crazy. And then they have another brother, Robbie. He's like my little brother too. So, we adopted each other. My mom and Amber. They're constantly talking back and forth, and it was always confusing because I'd be talking to my mom. So I called my mom, and then I called Amber Ma, and then I'd be like, Mom, Ma, and they'd both be like, what? And I'm like, just checking. But my mom loves Amber to death. And when I called and gave her the news and stuff, and I was like, I'm calling about Rachel. And she's like, how's your other mom? And I'm like, not good. So my mom actually, I think, really honestly started that whole thing, And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. But him and Maria is still going strong. And for as long as I'm alive, I will never forget Rachel, and I never forget to say her name. So she'll never be forgotten.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever.
That's sad.
Oh, my hips are getting sore. We have been on for almost 2 hours. I want to thank everybody who hung out and chit-chatted and listened to us ramble on.
Hey, you know what? That's what we're making for Tuesdays. It's like, we're here. Anything you want to talk about, anything that's on your mind, anything that's on. If not, we're just going to chit chat and have a little fun.
Yeah, exactly. And
I think I'm going to go buy more of these.
Those are so cool.
I'm going to go to the store and buy them. I'll sell them as like little.
You remember the little what was it? That little ball and the string thing that you would do this, and you'd hit your hand, and you. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
The big red one. It was the big red ball. Remember? And you do this. It had like a little rubber band or something like that, and you do this and you make that doom 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 noise.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Just a smaller
Yeah.
version, not red. All right, everybody. I think we're going to head her out, but we are going to read the banner one more time. The way I see it, if you want a rainbow, you got to put up with a little rain. Dolly Parton. With that, not next week. It depends on how Melanie's feeling from coming back from her trip. But the following week after that, I do want to do one posting of one of the animals in our Humane Society. If Melanie wants to find one from one of hers, we'll share those out with numbers and stuff so people can, see it if they're interested. And then again, we'll just kind of like chit chat, talk about Melanie's trip, and we'll go from there. With that, much love, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. And let me find my little outro thing.
Have an outro.
Yeah, I have an outro. It's kind of like the same with the intro, but not as much. So with that, we will talk to you guys later, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Maybe
Take
2 months.
care.
Bye.
Yeah, 2 weeks.